I got my education for real in the black church.
Are you going to apologize like Cory Booker has
Apologize for what?
We already have a nigger mayor, and we don't need any more nigger big shots.
There's not a racist bone in my body. I've been involved in civil rights my whole career.
I came out of the civil rights movement. I was one of those guys that sat in and marched and all that stuff.
I was involved, but I was not out marching. I was not down in Selma. I was not anywhere else. I was a suburbanite kid who got a dose of exposure to what was happening to black Americans when I'm in my own city.
Cory Booker
Apologize for what?
During the 60s, I was, in fact, very concerned about the civil rights movement. I was not an activist.
I got hairy legs that turn,
I worked at an all-black swimming pool in the east side of Wilmington, Delaware. I was involved in what they were thinking, what they were feeling.
I learned about kids jumping on my lap, and I've loved kids jumping on my lap. There's not a racist bone in my body.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
Bad loans that were these Shylocks who took advantage.
Even call centers, which rushed overseas in the hundreds of thousands. How many times you get the call? I'd like to talk to you about your credit card.
Democratic presidential candidate Joseph Biden today faces a controversy.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School.
I've done some dumb things, and I'll do dumb things again.
Joseph Biden admitted today that he committed plagiarism when he was in law school.
That Biden had appropriated a famous litany from the late Robert Kennedy about what the gross national product cannot measure.
It cannot measure the health of our children,
The health of our children,
the quality of our education,
the quality of their education,
the joy of their play,
or the joy of their play.
Plagiarism at law school, plagiarism on the stump.
The great communicator. Strike that. The great imitator.
My ancestors who worked in the coal mines in northeast Pennsylvania don't come up after 12 hours and play football.
8 hours underground, and then come up and play football.
It's because they didn't have a platform upon which to stand.
There was no platform upon which they could stand.
He looks like a Joe Biden wind-up doll with somebody else's words coming out.
He used phrases identical to those delivered by British Labour Party leader Neil Kinnock.
There's not a racist bone in my body. I've been involved in civil rights my whole career.
Joe Biden is under fire this evening on comments he made about working alongside segregationist senators in the past.
Biden recalling his early Senate career, bringing up 2 segregationist senators, Herman Talmadge and James Eastland, who called African Americans an inferior race. I was in a caucus with James O. Eastland, Biden said. He never called me boy, he always called me son. At least there was some civility. We got things done. We didn't agree on much of anything. We got things done.
I think Joe Biden might be suffering from that same white entitlement and privilege and ego, where he's just that old school white male.
We don't need any more nigger big shots. I think the two-party system, although my Democratic colleagues don't like me saying this, I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro, good for the black in the South. Other than the fact that they still call me boy, I think they've changed their mind a little bit. I've done some dumb things, and I'll do dumb things again.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. They're going to put you all back in chains.
We don't need any more nigger big shots.
The first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and clean and a nice looking guy. I mean, that's a story to prove.
Bye-bye Biden. He may not know it yet, but I think this is going to be very difficult for him to recover.
Are you going to apologize like Cory Booker has
Apologize for what?
Look, inflation, this is what it does to you. This is tic-tac now. This is tic-tac. Let's go. See? Look. It used to be that.